You might not be aware of this, but we're getting pretty close to this year's Oscars. Comes March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm sure a lot of you right now are saying, who cares? And you're right. We're going to go over some stuff that Samuel L. Jackson said, and he's absolutely right about his opinion on the Oscars. I mean, look at this. Other than Dune, which won't win this award, by the way, for Best Picture, is there any big movie in this category? A lot of them were flops, particularly West Side Story, which is nominated for some reason. I hear that movie's awful. Look at this. 32% of people think Power of the Dog is going to win. I heard some funny stuff about that movie. That movie got shredded recently. Everyone thinks that's going to win it. Dune, nobody thinks Dune's going to win it. And then you go down here, director, actor, and a lead. We're like, I haven't seen any of these movies. Mostly. One or two of them, but why should anybody care about the Oscars when no one's seen any of these effing movies? And that's a point that a lot of people have been trying to bring up. I mean, you see stuff like you hear No Time to Die is an original song category, but not much else, right? And I think that this is a fair criticism when it comes to the Oscars because no one cares about award shows. The Oscars was watched by the smallest audience the award show has ever received in 2021. And I imagine that it's going to fall even further this year. Now, the biggest controversy was that Spider-Man No Way Home got snubbed, one of the biggest movies of all time. And I would say, given the right circumstances, it would have probably taken the box office all-time charts even easier with an even bigger lead than it had if it hadn't been for the Koof stuff. I think that was still holding the movie back a little bit. Not much. I mean, the movie did great, but I think it would have done a little bit better if it had been released a couple of years ago. And it also didn't even release in every market. China didn't see a Spider-Man No Way Home release. But anyway, a lot of people were calling that out. Why didn't this movie get an Oscar nomination? And they were right. It should have gotten something. Nobody cares about really any of these movies aside from a couple. Everyone cared about Spider-Man No Way Home. Everyone watched it. And now you've got Samuel Jackson calling this out, and he's right. He shreds the Oscars. Now, Samuel Jackson has been rather woke, but it doesn't matter if he's been woke. He's still right in this case. He says he should have won an Oscar for Pulp Fiction compared to the movie that did win it, and nobody remembers that movie. Samuel Jackson, I should have won an Oscar, but Oscars don't get asses in seats like I do. It's kind of funny, actually. So here's what he had to say. I want to go over this because he's 100% right. So he told the Times in an interview he should have won his Best Supporting Actor nomination for Pulp Fiction. He should have. And he didn't win because Martin Landau won it for Ed Wood. Says, I should have won that one, Jackson told the Times about his Pulp Fiction Oscar nomination. Jackson was nominated that year against Martin Landau and a couple of other people, and he didn't win it because Landau was awarded the Oscar. And this is the movie that got the Oscar over Pulp Fiction. And it's like, does anybody remember this? I've never seen this. This is from Tim Burton, apparently. Ed Wood. If I were to ask 50 people if they remember this movie, I wonder what they would say. Right? And you compare that to Pulp Fiction, which is a classic. Everyone would probably still tell you to watch that movie today. That movie is massive and carried its popularity for decades. It will remain popular. And that's his point. That's why he should have won it. I guess harder to tell at the time, but I mean, that's a loss. He should have won that Oscar. He's great in that. He's great in that movie. Him and John Travolta were effing amazing in that movie. Well, he's right, and that's kind of his point, and he says it down here, too. He says, Jackson noted that the Oscars should shine a greater spotlight on the films that get asses in seats. The Academy tried and failed to introduce a category for most popular film in 2018, but Jackson is in full support of the idea. The actor suggested that any year's highest-grossing movie should be awarded an Oscar. They should have an Oscar for the most popular movie because that's what the business is about. Jackson said, adding that Oscars should award Spider-Man No Way Home this year for grossing $1.8 billion and counting worldwide. It did what movies did forever. It got people to a big, dark room. All movies are valid, Jackson said. Some go to the cinema to be moved dearly. Some like superheroes. If somebody has more butts on seats, it just means your audience is not as broad. There are people who have had successful careers, but nobody can recite one line of their parts. I'm the guy who says shit that's on a T-shirt. He's going to get an honorary Oscar at the 2022 Governors Awards, 2 days before the Oscars telecast. So he's getting an honorary award. He should have had one by now. Despite if you like him or not, he's still a good actor, and he's been in a lot of movies. He's not wrong. He's been in a lot of movies, and people know a lot of his lines. Like, look at Snakes on a Plane, right? Not the greatest movie ever made, but everybody knows that line. I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on my plane. Like, everyone knows that line. So he's not wrong. People that actually go to the movies for a movie, like, it's hard to get asses in seats anymore. So a movie that does that I believe, deserve some recognition. So he's not wrong. And this is one of the reasons why the ratings for the Oscars go down every year. And Seth Rogen even said this recently. No one gives a shit about the Oscars anymore. And he's right. Samuel L. Jackson's also right, too, if you really like him or not. I know he's pretty woke lately, but he's not wrong here. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.